Hey, so today we're going to talk about a tool that I love using. It's called mind mapping, and it's one you can use to help you with decision making, like I mentioned in the title of this video. It's one you can use to just plan and dream and try to goal set, so many different things. And so I want to kind of just talk about the basics. This is something that I've used a lot. You'll hear like things like vision boards and stuff like that. It's kind of along the same lines. And the benefit of mind mapping is you can it's very visual too. So this kind of helps you see how things could connect. It helps you make new connections with things like maybe you didn't think you could connect that with that and it would be something else, And so it kind of helps you see all of this picture-wise, which is super, super helpful in helping you be creative and spark ideas, brainstorm, all of those type of elements to things and to projects or whatever you're wanting to try and get clarity on, right? So it basically, I'm just going to show you quickly. And give you out a sheet of paper. You basically want to go with an idea. And just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to make this example something maybe we could all relate to, or just to easily show you how you can use it for helping you make decisions, right? So in the center of this, I'm going to write vacation, okay? So this is a mind map to figure out what we want to do for vacation. And so that's going to look a lot different this year because probably can't go very many places with the Rona around, right? So vacation in the center. So you would draw a line, and write out a place. So we're mountain people. So I'll put mountains, beach, home. What if you had to stay home? Or let's say family. So you have this out from each one. Then you take, these are your subcategories. You take your subcategories and you break them down. Okay, mountains. Well, we could go to the Appalachian Mountains. We could go to, I'm not good with mountain range names. We could go to Colorado. These are in the United States. You could go to the mountain range in Nepal, India, if you wanted to do extreme vacationing. So you see how it can go. So then you could take each of these subcategories. Okay, if I'm going to the Appalachian Mountains, what cities could I go to? Then you could even break down the cities and say, well, what could we do, right, in those cities? Or in that area. And so you could do this for every single location. So for family, I put that there because, some of us have family that live in really cool places and we haven't taken the time to go see them and visit those places. That could be a whole vacation. So you could write down those options, and then you take those options and break those down and break those down and break those down. You could break down an option all the way to, write it down, writing down the color of something, you know what I'm saying? So you can get as detailed as you want, as minute and specific, or you could keep it broad. So I love doing the mind mapping, especially for my own business, like my life coaching, podcast, blogging business, my business. And so I have all these ideas okay, coaching. What are the things I want to offer with coaching? What are the things I want to offer with the podcast? Then I can make connections between, okay, if I want to coach about this, I could do a whole episode on the podcast about that, and see all these different possibilities. You could do this with so many different things, home projects, work-related things. I mentioned my work-related things, but let's say you have a project or a deadline for your job or your business. Think about all the options, okay? Your main option is revenue, okay? So what are the different ways we could increase revenue? Having an actual physical product, offering a different type of service, changing up our website so that our sales copy makes more sense and that leads to more sales on our page. Advertisements, what advertising could we do and what channels could that look like? So you could apply this to so many different things. Family planning stuff, budget stuff, okay, we want to buy this thing. So how are we going to buy that? How are we going to raise the funds for that? Like there's so many different ways you can use mind mapping, but I've discovered that mind mapping sparks so much creativity. And so you come up with ideas and you can narrow those ideas down to where you could literally take your mind map, and because you've broken down each subcategory, you already have all your to-dos. You already have your action list. So then you just take those breakdowns and you put those in your calendar. Okay, like we're going to go with this option. So I need to look up flights for there. I need to, blah, blah, blah. Or if it's a project, okay, I wrote down that I'm going to do social media advertising. Okay, so what does that look like? What type of copy, and you have that and you just plug it into your calendar. So if you could keep it really big picture and then revisit it, but then the cool thing too is you can take whatever idea you had, you could take one of these subcategories, and if you really needed to have brainstorming, get clear about this particular thing, well then you put that in the center and you make a new mind map all around that thing. And so it just really, I found that it just really helps me because I get stuck with analysis paralysis. I get stuck with having so much information that I can't see the forest for the trees, or can't see the trees for the forest. And so I get so like pigeonholed with an idea, but I'm not like really creative with it because it's like I have this idea, but I'm feeling like there's so many different ways it could go, or so many different possibilities, or like I don't even know if that I have a clear picture of that. And so this mind map really helps spark that ideation and helps you eliminate things too, because you can, like, as you go down the breakdown, as you break each subcategory down, you can see if there's like a complete roadblock in the way, and it's like, oh, well, this is never gonna work, scratch out the whole leg, let's look at this option up here, you know what I mean? So it really helps you just get a clear picture and have a lot more clarity on a decision you're trying to make, and getting you into the frame of mind of seeing those action steps, seeing all the things that you need to do to make that central idea, central choice, decision happen. And so I love mind mapping. There's so many different ways you can do it. You can also color code it. One thing could be green, and that could mean like this is something I could do in 30 days. This is something that's going to take me 6 months. Color it a different, color code it something else. This would be my year-long goal. And so you can also have that as your categories. Okay, I want to accomplish this one thing. So in 30 days, what can I do to work towards that? In 6 months, what can I do? In a year, what can I do? In 5 years, what will it look like? And that's another way you can break everything down. So there's just so many different, I guess, processes that you can take mind mapping, but it just helps you stay focused on that central. And because we are visual people, we're a visual species, seeing that is very helpful. And like I said, it helps you to make connections you may not have ever thought about. Oh, well, I see up here, like I could do this in 30 days and have that done. So that means like this could literally, this thing that I think wouldn't happen for a year, honestly, that goes along with this. I mean, this thing could get accomplished in 2 months, and so it helps you to see so many more pathways to the final thing. And if you're struggling with the decision, it also helps you identify roadblocks, things that could not change, that are like, there, it's just what it is, things that could change and how possibly you could change those. And so I just find this tool super helpful. You can Pinterest mind mapping and see tons of examples, but it's just a great tool that I've used for so many goal setting things, mindset things, and ultimately decisions. And even Adam and I making decisions about things that we want to do, or especially in my own business and things that I want to accomplish. So I hope this idea helps if you haven't heard of it. If you have heard of it, use it again if you haven't used it in a while. So I just love it, and I think it's a very helpful tool. So that's what I got for you today. Y'all have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.